A former Biden White House communications director, Kate Benningfield. She said Biden was really disappointing last night. Roll it.
Yeah, look, it was a really disappointing debate performance from Joe Biden. I don't think there's any other way to slice it. His biggest issue that he had to prove to the American people was that he had the energy, he had the stamina, and he didn't do that. And so I think that is of concern, and I think for a lot of Democrats, that's very disappointing.
It sure is. Lisa Boothe joins me now. Biden's debate performances are setting off real loud alarm bells for Democrats. I want to know where you think they go from here. Where do the Democrats and their campaign, where they go?
Well, let's just say if I were Joe Biden, I probably wouldn't accept any dinner reservation or dinner invitations to the Clinton household at this point. You know, look, you've got Democrats sharpening the knives. You probably have Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom trying to make their case to Democrat donors as well as to Democrat leaders. I'm sure Joe Biden are fielding a lot of calls today trying to encourage Joe Biden to drop out of this race. But I've got to say, Stuart, I want Joe Biden to stay in this race. Anyone who wants Donald Trump to win this election should want Joe Biden to stay in this race. You want Donald Trump to face the weakest candidate he could possibly face. That debate last night would have looked a heck of a lot different with Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom on the stage. So it's time for the Republican Party to expand their line of attack beyond Joe Biden to start attacking the Democrat Party at large. Because, look, Joe Biden's not a terrible president because he's 81. He's a terrible president because he's a Democrat. Look at California, for example. Gavin Newsom's 56 years old. They're the highest taxes, highest unemployment, homelessness, crime, the list goes on, yet they are taxed into oblivion. So this country's failing not because Joe Biden's 81, because he's a Democrat.
Who do you think is the real president? Who do you think is calling the shots? Because it's very hard for us to find out. I mean, the president, his cognitive decline is significant. So who is it? Who's the person behind the curtain? Who's writing his note cards? Who's putting the stuff into his teleprompter? Who's whispering in his ear? Who is this person?
I don't know, but, you know, does it matter? What's more dangerous to me is how much we've been lied to about this. If you remember that Wall Street Journal article trying to take us behind the scenes in a Joe Biden's cognitive decline, Stuart, how many Democrat leaders and cabinet secretaries were on the record telling us, assuring us, everything's fine, there's nothing to see here? We had the media and Democrats accuse Republicans of these cheap fakes, of doctoring these videos, showing Joe Biden in the cognitive decline that we all know that he is, the fact that he's senile, the fact that he's falling apart, the fact that he's not ready for the job, lying to us, accusing Republicans of these cheap fakes when the truth was on the stage last night. And now it's so in Americans' face, they cannot deny it, but they are willing to go to that length, to lie to the American people to that extent, to look us in the face, tell us those lies. The same thing we saw the 51 intelligence officers, former CIA directors, lying to the American people, saying Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation when it was the truth. So that is dangerous, the point where we are now, to the lengths that Democrats and the media are willing to cover up for the Democrat Party. We are in dangerous territory with that. That scares me worse.
I'm with you all the way. Lisa Boothe, thanks very much indeed. Good stuff today on an important day, too. Thank you.
Take care.